Hello there guys, my name is Jason and we're going to be talking about today about the full review of Dragon Ball Super since it started in 2015 all the way till it ended last week in 2018. So let's start with the Battle of Gods arc. In the Battle of Gods arc, we actually see the same thing that they show us in the movie, only in a more extended version. The best thing that I could actually say about the arc is the fact that we get to see a much more longer fight between Goku and Beerus. Other than that, I actually prefer to watch the movie over the arc. Now we go the same thing. We now go for the same thing with the Resurrection F arc. Same thing. It was the same as the movie, but it was actually longer. And I actually consider that the movie was much more better done than the Resurrection F arc. Like the fact that we actually get to see the Sea Fighters do a much more better fighting in the movie than what they did in the series, I actually liked the more. It was actually much more better done. Another detail that I like more about the series was the fact that they actually show us the training that Goku and Vegeta went through to actually obtain Super Saiyan Blue. Because in the movies they did not explain that. They actually just appear with the transformation. And the series, that it's a point between Battle of Gods and Resurrection F where we actually get to see them training and showing them how they actually acquire these powers. So only for that detail I would actually recommend watching the arc of Resurrection F. Now we're going to the Universe 6 tournament where we actually get introduced to a whole bunch of new characters. Like we got Kaba, we got Frost, we got Magetta, Botamo, and Hit. Hit being the most important one out of this whole new character set that they brought in. So the best thing about this arc was that it was fresh, it was something new, and we got to see the Super Dragon Balls because we didn't know that they actually existed up to this point of the series. And after that, we actually get to see a great fight between Goku and Hit. Hit being someone with that time skip that he can actually use, that we have never seen that ability before, and he can actually use it in such a quick way that it overwhelmed Vegeta and it overwhelmed Goku at some point. So during the fight, we actually see that Goku is testing out, seeing how he can actually take down Hit with his time skip ability until he figures out the pattern. He breaks his pattern and he actually gives Hit a great fight. And then we get to see that Goku brings back the Kaioken and he combines it with the Super Saiyan Blue. And not just the detail that we see him combining that, is that we also see Hit that he decides to progress in this match against Goku, and he improves his time skip a whole lot more than what he used to do. This was one of the greatest matches that we have actually seen in Dragon Ball in a long time. So it's a great tournament to actually see. It's a great arc to see just because of the fact that we get to see a great tournament style fight. Now we go to the Future Trunks arc, which is the arc number 4 that we had in this series. This was my personal favorite arc out of them all because of the fact that they bring Future Trunks in and they bring a whole new villain that we haven't seen a new villain since Majin Buu, which is Goku Black and Zamasu. Now, I love Goku Black because of the fact that he was something completely different. We see the complete opposite of what Goku is. Goku is this nice person that he loves to fight and he loves to help people out. And we get to see a Goku that it's not Goku, that it's evil, a very wise but in an evil way Goku, and a god that just wants to destroy every mortal that exists because he considers them to be impure, he considers them to not be perfect. So the whole plot of the arc was very great. It had a few details that they could have actually done better, like the whole mess that they made explaining where did Goku Black come from, where did Zamasu come from, and from which timeline is each and every one of them. So when we actually see this arc, this brings a whole lot of good fights, great talent in the writers and the animators, and the best thing about this arc is actually seeing that there is a Goku that is so powerful that Vegeta and our Goku can't actually take him down that easily. So we see that they have to keep going back and forth during the timeline to actually be able to fight them, to train and surpass their own limits per se. And then we see that this Goku has a godly transformation as Super Saiyan Rose, which is the combination of a god with the body of a Saiyan. Like when you see Goku and Vegeta, they transform to Super Saiyan Blue, they're actually tapping into God Ki, but they're not gods. So when we see Goku Black, who is an actual god, use the same God Ki, we actually get Super Saiyan Rose. And there was only one thing, one of the many things that I did not actually like about this arc was the fact that they had to make Goku Black and Zamasu merge, forming merge Zamasu, and that he's basically unstoppable. And the way that they kill him was the way that actually triggered me a lot, because they killed him with Trunks using his sword, and them getting involuntarily the energy of the people that were left on the planet, and making a spirit bomb blade. Now, don't get me wrong, it was a cool move, but the fact that Zamasu was supposed to be immortal and being killed by this, after we see that Goku and Vegeta fuse into Vegito with the Potara, which was another bad writing that we got, that we were explained that the Potara fusion for mortals is only 1 hour, which was perfectly made. That was a perfect explanation. But then when we see that Vegito used to Super Saiyan Blue a lot, then for taking him out of the transformation of the fusion, was that he used all of the power in the Potara. I was like, why are they doing this? I already explained it's 1 hour. I mean, if gods can stay forever like that, why can't two mortals do the same for an hour, which was already explained? So overall, the arc was very good. It had amazing fights, amazing animation. It could have been a much more better the story plot wise, but overall it was a great season. So then we now move to the last arc, which is the Tournament of Power arc, where the Tournament of Power arc was consisting of 8 universes, 10 fighters of each universe participating to see who will survive, because 7 universes are going to be deleted, and the winner universe is going to stay alive. Now, there are a lot of details in this that I did not like. There were a lot of details that I did like. The main detail I did not like was that everyone was fighting against Universe 7. Instead of giving us a more variation of all the universes fighting, as far as I remember, we only got to see Universe 6 fighting against other universes, especially when we saw Kale and Khalifa fighting against the Universe 11 Pride Troopers and taking them all out. And then even that, I remember that Universe 7 had to interfere a little bit to help out. So when we get to see actually the story, it was basically too Goku-centric, to Universe 7-centric in this tournament, when they actually could have done a whole lot more. They can actually show us the Pride Troopers fighting against other people, as well as more of the Universe 6 participants fighting against other people. And the best things that we saw out of this were the 3 top Pride Troopers, Dispo, Topo, and Jiren, being the most powerful ones that they had, and the most entertaining, the most that caught our eyes. I enjoyed the fight that Dispo had with Hit, and then Goku returning to use Super Saiyan God for this fight, just for stamina wise. Then the Jiren and Goku fight was actually a great fight. It was the first hour special that they made about this fight. I was mind boggled like everyone else. We weren't expecting to see Jiren to be this strong how he was shown. He could take down Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken times 20, which it's been proved that it's a very, very strong power-up that Goku has. So the way that they introduced the Migata no Goku, the Ultra Instinct, was a very unique and very creative way, because we actually see that Goku has to surpass his limits, hence why people were calling it Limit Break at the beginning, where he actually has to surpass the limit of dying and making sure that he stay alive. So he actually did stay alive, and he had a great match against Jiren, even though at the end Jiren proved that he was not using his full power. And that was another detail about this series that they could have done better, because they were always saying that Jiren's about to use his full power, Jiren's about to go full power, when it would have actually been better said that Jiren was going to use more power than what he was using it. So another detail about the arc that I was expecting more was the Vegeta versus Topo fight, but not the last fight that we saw. The first fight that they were teasing us about, Vegeta in his regular Super Saiyan Blue against Pride Justice Trooper Topo. So The fight could have been done more. We could have seen a little bit more about that, even though it was hinted at that fight that we were going to actually see more eventually. A great fight that I also loved was the fight of Kefla versus Goku, where we actually see that Goku was very tired, and a lot of people had a lot of problems with this fight, seeing that Kefla was actually able to stand up against Goku in Super Saiyan Blue, which is a detail that people need to understand, that Goku was very tired, and even Lord Beerus himself said that Goku wasn't at full power. He couldn't use all his stamina, so he was going to get tired and he was going to lose. And that's what it actually did happen. So when we see Goku transform into Ultra Instinct for a second time, it was very interesting because we knew that Kefla was about to go down. And me, alongside a few others, knew that Universe 6 wasn't supposed, or we wouldn't have liked Universe 6 to be eliminated so quickly, because it was another universe with a lot of character development and with a lot of good characters that could actually last up till the end. So after that, we go to the fight with Anirasa. I'm skipping all the whole blah 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 fights that we had on there. So with the Anirasa fight, we have left Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, 17, and Frieza, where they all actually power up the most that they could, and they actually took down Anirasa, which was another very, very strong character of some fused type of all the Universe 3 robots, and with Dr. Paparoni. So the 17 was actually the MVP in this fight in particular, because he actually figured out how to take Anirasa down. And they actually take it down, and that's when we come to see that it's only Universe 7 versus Universe 11 left. The 3 top Pride Troopers against the 5 best characters from Universe 7 left. So these matches were very good. It was a very quick pace, and it was like very... It left us wanting more about the whole tournament and their fights specifically. I'm a big Gohan fan, and what I liked the least about it was that Gohan didn't got a bigger push. That they were teasing us that Gohan was going to become better. He was going to get a better push. They even teased us that Gohan was going to get a transformation beyond the ultimate form that he already had. And we never got to see that. We actually got to see him eliminate Dispo, but that wasn't enough. Honestly, we could have seen more about Gohan after all the teases that they made about him. He could have done much more better in this tournament. He could have actually done much more fights, much more eliminations. And he came up short with what the fans were actually expecting of him. Now, on the opposite side of that, we got Android 17, who he actually did much more than what people were expecting to, and he ended up being the whole MVP of the whole tournament with all the details that he actually did that ended up helping a lot Universe 7, sorry, against Universe 11. When we see him, Android 17 and Frieza fighting against Topo, when they actually triggered Topo to become the next God of Destruction, that he's a God of Destruction prodigy, and that completely changed the scale of the whole fight that was left, because we're actually seeing Goku in Super Saiyan Blue with Kaioken fighting alongside Vegeta, who actually acquired Super Saiyan Blue Perfected, or Perfection, whatever it is that they're calling it, against Jiren. The 2 top guys were facing the top dog from Universe 11, and they actually had to stop their fight because they felt the power that Topo, God of Destruction, was creating and emitting in this tournament. At this moment, Topo completely obliterated Frieza. Frieza was actually very strong, and he still had a lot of stamina, and he was taken down by the fact that Topo used the Hakai on him and took him down very, very badly. Then we have 17 left, and 17 knew that he couldn't handle Topo. So he did his best until Vegeta comes in, and Vegeta actually gives Topo a great fight. And it was a fight that was very rushed. It was a fight that people were expecting more, especially we were expecting to see much more of Topo. But since they already had a deadline to take down the series, we didn't get to see enough about Topo in God of Destruction mode and Vegeta fighting him, because I'm pretty sure that they were going to give us more of that fight of them. So Vegeta actually does the final explosion that he did in the Majin Buu saga when he tried to kill Majin Buu. But we see that this time he was strong enough to resist that explosion and actually eliminate Topo. So it was a great elimination. It was something that Vegeta actually needed to prove that he was that strong to take down a god of destruction. And a god of destruction that we know that is much more powerful than what people think and what he looks like. After that, we are left with Jiren only. Jiren against Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and 17. Even though Frieza was left outside of the lines for a good time, we get to see that 17 gets to become the hero once more when Jiren takes down Vegeta and Goku, and we actually see that 17 defended them from dying or from being eliminated, and they tease to us that he actually was dead. So we get to see that 17 saved them, but they were not with complete power to actually fight against Jiren because they were already tired because of their fights. So we go to Vegeta trying to defend as much as he could and take down Jiren to being eliminated. And just when he was eliminated, he gives his last bit of energy to Goku so that Goku can have strength enough to at least hold Jiren off for the last 2 minutes left in the tournament, which was almost impossible for him. And right at the verge when Jiren was going to eliminate him, we see that Goku transform into Ultra Instinct again. That last minute of the tournament, which was 3 episodes, was a very, very powerful time for us to see it, because it was Goku turning back into Ultra Instinct for a 3rd time, and then after that mastering the Ultra Instinct, which is a very hard thing to do, that even we said that Beerus hasn't even mastered it, and that for a god of destruction to master Ultra Instinct, it's very, very hard to do. So we see that Goku actually does this, and the fact that Goku fights Jiren and he gets a much more power up than what he had with the Ultra Instinct Goldman to master Ultra Instinct, it was, God, how can I say, it was very nostalgic. It was very awesome to watch Goku rise to that level. But at the same time, it was like, okay, so now what? I mean, he takes down Jiren, and Jiren is still a character that it's a huge mountain for many other characters to actually surpass. And then we go back to Goku with the Master Ultra Instinct. I mean, what's next for them? And the fact that they actually take Goku down because he couldn't hold more the Ultra Instinct, I mean, that was good. It was actually, when you see it during the series time, Goku only lasted 2 minutes with the transformation, which for us 2 minutes go like this. So it was the same thing, that he couldn't handle it that much, and that's why he loses it. And just when Jiren's about to eliminate him, we see that Frieza comes back. It's ironic that the Emperor of the Universe, the most baddest guy that we have seen so far in the series, is the one that saves Goku from being eliminated and saves Universe 7 from being destroyed. And then, boom, we see that 17 was still alive. I was thinking that was Goku, and we were like, what the hell is going on? Where did 17 come from? And he actually was strong enough to hold the blast that eliminated him and killed him. And the fact that we get to see 3 versus 1, that last episode was great fighting-wise, but I believe that they could have made it either an hour special or another extra episode where this episode 131 would have completely focused on Goku, Frieza, and 17 eliminating Jiren and the struggle of them eliminating, while the last episode would have been fully concentrated into the fact that they were eliminated, about the wish, returning all the universes, seeing the Super Dragon Balls, and then the Daishenkan explaining to us that the wish had to be a wish that bring back all the universes, because that way it was more of a selfless wish. And that's what they said, because they knew that anyone would have wanted to bring back the universes. It was a huge possibility, and that's what did happen. So they actually preferred to make sure that it was going to be the whole universe is saved instead of a selfish wish, which I believe that was greatly fixed. They actually explained that, and they said it right. Like, we all knew that they were going to bring back the universes, but the way that they actually explained it was much more better than what we were expecting it to be, especially what I was expecting it to be. So overall, the series was great. It was not better than C, because C we got a lot of more action, less comedy. This series had a lot of comedy. It was like an in between Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. It had the comedy from Dragon Ball and it had the action from Dragon Ball Z. So I believe that it was a great series. I enjoyed it a lot, and now we have to wait for the movie in December and wait to see if next year, after the movie during the summer or something, they bring back another series of Dragon Ball, or if they decide to continue with Dragon Ball Super. So thanks for watching me, guys. Thanks for listening to me out. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be making more content eventually. So thank you very much.